What's going on, you guys? Jay here, and welcome back to the channel. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but my sound quality is on point. I'm in the studio at the moment, and as you guys know, I've traveled to the other side of the globe in comparison to the United Kingdom to really push forward Project Remedy, work with some of the bigger players in the space, and actually try to put LUNC as an ecosystem on the map again inside the Cosmos and outside the Cosmos. So you've probably noticed at the bottom we've got a new rotating banner in our videos, and this is more or less just to keep everybody who's not in the know and trying to get more people over to LUNCDash. I'm answering maybe 30 emails a day, I'm going through about 100 DMs a day, and I'm just helping people move to LUNCDash. There's so much confusion out there. We're going to be working on that desktop application for you guys. We're going to be working on the extension application as well for Ledger users, myself being an avid Ledger user. So just deal with that rotating banner, guys. It might be a little bit annoying at times, but it does serve a very good purpose. And again, LUNCDash is available on Android and iOS. I must admit, guys, I know my sound quality is 100% crisp right now, and I'm just basking in the ambience of being back in the studio. It feels like I'm back home at this point, and it's not easy, right? Getting into the flow, getting into content creation when you're staying with different friends, staying with other YouTubers, and doing all of these different things. Everybody's rushing around, and just being here, I'm 100% in the place that I need to be. So I'm going to clear up all of the confusion right now. Some of you do know why I've voted abstain, but a lot of you simply are very confused, and I totally get it. What you need to understand is this proposal is a dress rehearsal, and it has to go down correctly. So if it passes, yes, we are going to be able to take this to the CEXs as I've explained, but there's also going to be another chain upgrade. And the whole reason why this is relevant right now is because of the fact that I have abstained. The reason why I have abstained is because of all nodes. You may not know this, but we went through the previous proposal for LUNCDash and I voted yes on my own proposal. I've done this many times in the past. Many validators still do this today. Vegas was one of the most recent validators to support his own proposal and still garner all nodes' support. So is this rule where a validator can simply not vote yes on his own proposal or her own proposal? No. There are no rules written into our ecosystem. There's nothing in the Gitbook documents. There's nothing there in the official wording that states that I am not allowed to vote yes on my own proposal. The biggest issue here is if I do in fact decide to go, okay, I'm going to be sneaky and I'm going to vote yes on this proposal at the last minute, we're going to be punished by all nodes in the future on the next proposal, which is far more important. It's more important because that will be the chain upgrade. So if I do attempt to sneak in a yes vote at the end, right? If, for example, it's not going to pass, it's not something that I can do because, again, all nodes would just shut the next proposal down with a consistent no vote. And they are quite outright when they do this. And what we're going to do is go to validator.info. And as you can see here, I've got the LUNCDash proposal up that I was just referencing and quoting, and we can see that after community feedback, we voted no. Validators shouldn't vote on their own proposal due to conflicts of interest. Links should be added to CMC post-community-wide adoption. So we can see here that all nodes is actually enforcing a centralized rule in a decentralized environment. And I think a lot of people didn't really understand why I was upset and why this was such a bad thing to happen in our ecosystem, because it really does go to show how much of a dictator all nodes are. They made that rule set up themselves. There's no rule, as I've mentioned, that states a validator cannot vote yes on their own proposal. When the proposal for all nodes to get the CMC links came up, Vegas was the proposer. He voted yes to that proposal, and all nodes didn't punish him with a no vote. And this is likely because it benefited all nodes' centralized position of them kind of more or less being this gatekeeper at this point that is going around and punishing different validators for different things. So although there's a lot of people out there that would say to me, again, Jay, why don't you just vote yes at the last minute if this proposal is in fact losing? Because we still need to get the chain upgrade to go through. A yes vote is a yes vote at the end of the day, and all we need is the CEXs at this point to support it. And I think this is going to be very beneficial because essentially, right, I'm not a legal advisor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a solicitor, but I'm very good with the court documents. I've done a massive amount of research going into these documents and spending so much time breaking it down to the point of where we knew exactly what wallets needed to burn because we had the evidence docket being P301, trial exhibit P301 specifically. So it is a funny situation. And again, as much as you're maybe angry that I'm having to abide by this enforcement, I have no choice. Because if I vote yes, I risk losing this entire vote, this entire campaign to remove the 1.86 billion from existence and re-secure our blockchain. I put the entire thing at risk by simply boosting my own ego or like trying to be vain or like pushing some kind of vanity pursuit. And that's not what I'm about here at HCC. What I'm about is trying to ease this thing in the most beneficial way. And if we can do it in the most lubricated manner, as I always say, that's what's going to be most beneficial, because essentially the people who you don't want to upset right now isn't the SEC. They're under so much fire, they don't know what's going on and they don't even know if their jobs are going to exist in a couple of months. And it's the same with a lot of these different US-based sectors like FEMA, for example. But anyway, getting on a side tangent, the point here is, guys, I simply cannot vote yes on my own proposal because all nodes will simply come in and punish us as they did previously with a no vote. And if this signaling proposal fails, we're unable to go to the next step. Now, as I've said previously, if this does fail and it doesn't go through, we're not able to go in and burn the assets, we can still go in, blacklist, freeze, and produce a custom API. We can handle it and we can secure the ecosystem. And as I've mentioned, it's not just about burning these assets. That's a very, very huge beneficial side variable of this whole thing. The point is to secure those assets because they have not moved for a long time. We do not know if DK was the only person who had access to the LFG reserve asset keys. We simply don't know if the keys were in fact burned, if they have been destroyed by DK on handover. We don't know, we don't know, we don't know. But what we do know is the allocation and the determination, the dictation of where those funds are supposed to go. They are supposed to be destroyed and removed from the circulating supply. Both ChatGPT and both Grok agree. But what you guys need to understand is, although we may feel this way, right? Although we may be as beneficial as it is to think this way, we also need to respect the other side's view, okay? Because otherwise we get into these crazy bickering matches and it goes from being like a meme, a joke, to this whole serious thing where people start to whip up drama over essentially something that is just a hurdle. Okay, if they can't burn, like I said, then we'll go in, we'll blacklist, we'll freeze them. It's no biggie. It's all solvable at this point. And so many people are like pushing back on this like negative drama-based attitude. And it's like, I'm done with this. I'm so done with this at this point that there's so many options we've got, so many options we could take, but yeah, we just sit still, we do nothing, we don't discuss the harder parts of the discussion because they end up in drama talks and this and throwing stuff back and forth. And like, I'm just wanting to help the ecosystem. That is what is most beneficial for all of us. And, you know, as much as All Nodes is punishing me and they're forcing me to vote abstain, it is what it is at this point. There's nothing that I can do about it other than abide by that rule set that they have dictated and determined to be placed on us. And if that's the case, that's simply the case. We'll figure it out. We'll build a bridge, we'll build a ladder, we'll throw a rope down, and we'll help others get around, over, or under that hurdle. But yeah, guys, let me know how you're getting on. What are you most excited for? I'm very excited, as you can imagine, for Project Remedy, but I'm really starting to look into Selenium quite a lot. They're doing a lot of different things in comparison, for example, to their predecessors being Mirror Protocol. It is different. I'm looking into that, and then I've also been doing a bit more research into Juris and talking to obviously Frag and LL69 just about the ins and outs, and I'm quite interested. It's starting to get me quite excited again. I'm starting to feel that mood that we had when we all first got involved in LUNC and everything was going swimmingly. Even though it wasn't, it felt like it was going swimmingly, and I just don't feel like this is a ruse this time, or it's unprecedented. I feel the mood. I feel the buzz. I feel the energy. I feel the building, and I feel the positivity. And that's all we can do during times like this, is just stay as positive as we can, and then also respect the other side's view. It's so important, guys, that you don't get yourself caught up in these negative drama-based arguments on X. Say your piece, let them say your piece, and then let that be that. Let governance decide what it wants to do. That's why we have a decentralized environment, to act on consensus, what the broader consensus would like to see. We've got less than 13 hours until this vote ends. But yeah, guys, what do you think? It's going to pass? Is it going to fail? Are we going to have to freeze the assets? What do you think is going to be the end result of all of this? And aside that, guys, I really enjoyed doing this video, being back in the office. We're going to try and get back on track, trying to get back to doing our live streams we used to do at the very beginning, and just trying to push all of the different projects, protocols, dApps, tools, and everything that's launching in the future, and just trying to help this entire ecosystem and get back to being that original Happy Catty that you guys love. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and as always, guys, I'm going to catch you in the next one.